What up, YouTube? It's Knowledge of Self-Determination, back with some more boxing. So the next one I'm going to get into, Chris Eubanks and Renault Quinlan. These guys seem to really not like each other so much, but it's good for the fight. You know, they're building interest in the fight, at least in the UK. I'm really interested and curious to see, you know, how Eubanks Jr. looks in this fight. You know, I didn't have a lot of high praise for him in one of my videos. I'm talking about him and Quinlan because I was judging him based off of the fight with Billy Joe Saunders. And to me, he, I don't know. I like Eubanks Jr. I think he's very talented. I think he's very athletic. And I think that he has the potential to be a very good fighter. I just think that with some of the things that he does, like he said, he's going to use the Gale, Triple G and Quinlan as stepping stones to get to Andre Ward. But again, holding in contrast his Billy Joe Saunders performance, he can't fight Andre Ward the same way that he fought Billy Joe Saunders. It's not going to work. I don't think that is going to work with Gennady Golovkin, to be honest with you. I mean, Gennady Golovkin is an Olympian. He is an Olympian. That means something. I believe he won a silver medal. That means something. You know, as much as I believe Gennady Golovkin to be hyped to a degree, he's hyped to a degree. However, you can't take away the fact that the man went to the Olympics. I mean, if you can make it to the Olympics and come out with a medal, dog, you can fight. I mean, that's just the way it is. But in any event, Chris Eubanks Jr. trades words as Renault Quinlan laughs at him during their face-offs. FightHype.com was on hand in London, England, where super middleweights Chris Eubanks Jr. and Renault Quinlan held the final press conference leading up to their upcoming showdown. And I will put a link to that in the description as well, because they have a video, you know, showing the face-off in front of the media. Let's see. Now, Lennox Lewis, this is a guy I haven't heard from in a while. Lennox Lewis says Chris Eubanks Jr. will get a good test from Renault Quinlan, and explains why. Quote, "It's a good matchup. Two guys that are the same weight that love to punch. He's pretty confident. He's a good test for Chris Eubanks Jr. It's a good fight for pay-per-view. This is going to be a good fight," end quote, stated former undisputed heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis, who shared his thoughts on the upcoming super middleweight clash. Like I said, I'll put all the links to all of these different interviews in the description box. But you know, Lennox Lewis is backing Renault Quinlan in a way, basically giving testament to his style and basically saying that the kid is going to be a good test. Let's see. I'm curious to see. Now, in my last video, I talked about Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant says confidence at all-time high after sparring George Groves, ready for February 25th return. Undefeated super middleweight contender Caleb Sweet Hands Plant, 14-0 with 10 knockouts, will be making his 2017 debut on the Deontay Wilder 37-0 with 36 knockouts versus George Washington 18-1 with 12 knockouts card, taking place at the Legacy Arena in Birmingham, Alabama on February the 25th. Plant will headline his own show on Fox Sports 1 against the opponent TBA on February 25th as part of a multiple telecast event. Plant talks about his upcoming fight, sparring with the world title contender George Groves 25-3 with 18 knockouts, and his commentating debut. Quote, "On February 25th, I'll be making my ring return," end quote, said Caleb Plant, the IBF number 15 contender. Quote, I'm really pumped to be headlining on Fox Sports 1. Nashville, Tennessee, my hometown, is only a few hours away from Alabama, so I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of my family and friends in attendance, end quote. Quote, "Last week I got great work sparring with George Groves when he was in town for the Frampton fight. He's a class act, and I learned a lot from being in the ring with him. I held my own, and my confidence is at an all-time high. I know I can compete with anyone in the world. I'm just going to take it one fight at a time. I'll be ready for whoever they put in front of me," end quote. In addition, Plant will be commentating side by side with Brian Custer during the Sammy Vasquez 21-1 with 15 knockouts versus Luis Collazo 36-7. So that's already come and gone. Yeah. Quote, my career is headed in the right direction and I'm excited to be commentating tonight on FS1, end quote. In any event, looking forward to Caleb Plant's fight. Really, because I haven't seen this kid in action, and I've seen him in a lot of Dante boxing videos. So I'm really curious to see what he will bring to the ring. Let's see. Now, Andre Ward and Lennox Lewis analyzed Chris Eubanks Jr. Quote, Chris Eubanks Jr., obviously he's still growing as a fighter. He's got a strong foundation. He's got a fighter's mentality. He seems to have good power. He's being moved in the right way, end quote, stated unified light heavyweight champion Andre Ward, who, along with former undisputed heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis, shared his thoughts on super middleweight contender Chris Eubanks Jr. And also Andre Ward is going to be commentating on that fight, you know. And so he's over in the UK right now, actually getting a lot of love from the UK fans. You know, he's getting a lot of love from the UK fans, the media and everything, which is sad that man had to leave his own country to get the recognition. I mean, when he's in the Bay Area, I mean, look at some of the videos out there, you know, when he does fight at home. I mean, he gets a lot of love at home in his hometown, but he doesn't get that same love all across the board. You know, so it's good to see, you know, that people appreciate what this man brings to the fight game. It's good to see that there are people that actually appreciate Andre Ward and what he brings to the table. I like to see that. Let's see. More crap talking about from Eubanks Jr. To Quinlan. Let's see. Some stuff about James DeGale. Chris Eubanks Jr. tells James DeGale he wants the rest of his teeth. Insists he has planned to roast Golovkin. I mean, quote, DeGale, I want the rest of those teeth. Golovkin, I know I can beat him. I watch him fight and I can say I can see holes. Yes, he's got great power, but it's going to take a hell of a lot more than that to beat me. Again, we'll see. I'm not going to focus too much on that one because he had his opportunity to fight Golovkin, and from what I understand, him and his father kind of botched the negotiations with that. Let's see. Lennox Lewis raised Anthony Joshua, says he, quote, stings like a wasp, but needs butterfly dance. Quote, the main leading guy right now has problems. He's not there. You got to put them all together now. I know who's going to come out. Fury has already shown that there's a chink in Klitschko's armor, end quote. So, and it's coming, and Lennox Lewis fought Klitschko. So, you know, hey, we'll see if Klitschko has gained any more or if he's lost a step or two. We'll see. Anthony Joshua will definitely put him to the test if he fights the right fight. I think everybody is aware of the James Kirkland situation and him fracturing his nose. So him and the Miguel Cotto fight is definitely off. Let's see. Now, okay, Chris Eubanks Jr. clarifies talk of, quote unquote, wrecking Andre Ward, not thinking about light heavyweight division. Quote, he believes it. If I get in the ring with somebody, I'm going to find a way. I know he's a light heavyweight and I'm not focused on that division at all. Right now, I'm focused solely on the super middleweight and middleweight divisions. So, again, I mean, like I said before, I believe in another video, I believe that he was saying Andre Ward's name to basically, I guess, build hype in his own fight. You know, because he mentioned DeGale and Triple G, as I mentioned before. So more than likely, it was just all hype in the first place. Let's see. Moving on to Luis Collazo, he blasts Deontay Wilder, says he's scared of nothing but a paper champion. Responding to WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder's recent public statements, former WBA interim heavyweight champion Luis Ortiz would like to let him know, quote, I signed up for the WBC VADA Clean Boxing program last September. Stop using that excuse to avoid fighting me, end quote. The undefeated Ortiz, 27-0 with 23 knockouts of Camagüey, Cuba, hope I said that right, now living in Miami, has been trying to get Wilder into a boxing ring for quite a while, as Wilder has chosen to face a string of what many would label second-tier opponents to defend against. Quote, he's scared, quote unquote, he's scared, said Ortiz of Wilder. Quote, the more he can use my failed test against me, he will. He and promoter Lou DiBella are saying he won't fight me because of that. That was years ago, and since that unfortunate incident for which I was punished, I have tested a dozen times clean. Now he's trying to say I haven't signed up for the Vada Clean Boxing. Guess what, Wilder? I signed up last September when I was notified that all WBC contenders need to be part of their new clean boxing program. I filled out the paperwork and my trainer submitted it to the WBC. He can stop using that excuse to avoid me. I have nothing to hide and do not have to prove any longer to anyone that I am clean. Wilder is nothing but a paper champion who happened to be at the right place at the right time against the right opponent with, most importantly, the right promoter. That's all he is. So that's some he's spitting some venom at Deontay Wilder. I like Luis Ortiz. Golden Boy kept him on the shelf for whatever reason. Luis Ortiz, was it the Brian Jennings fight, I think? Luis Ortiz to me looked spectacular in that fight. I mean, he did some things in that fight that I haven't seen a heavyweight do in a long time. And I like the way he fights on the inside, how he protects himself on the inside, and he gets himself in position to shoot that stinging uppercut when he's real close on the inside. Luis Ortiz is a force to be reckoned with in the heavyweight division. But all those guys are the big, strong contenders. I want to see what's going to unfold after, if Deontay Wilder can get past his next opponent. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with these two guys, because that is a mega fight waiting to happen. I think they can have that fight anyway. Well, maybe overseas would be better, because again, the black champions in America aren't really received that well for whatever reason. But Luis Ortiz has a UK promoter, so maybe if they do it in the UK, I mean, UK boxing fans show up. I mean, they're loyal, they show up, So yeah, I like to see that fight, and I like for those guys, so there won't be any conflict over money, for it to be somewhere where they can pull good numbers off of a pay-per-view event for that. Maybe it deserves to be pay-per-view, maybe it doesn't, but I think the UK might be a good venue for it. Chris Eubanks Jr. warns Billy Joe Saunders there's nowhere to run. "Quote unquote, he's getting it soon." I mean, he wants to fight. This dude is calling out a lot of names. Billy Joe Saunders already beat this kid. Let's see. It doesn't matter who Saunders is with. I'm getting him at some point. There's no way he can run. He's getting it soon. End quote. So I don't know how many people are actually interested in seeing him fight Billy Joe Saunders again to avenge his loss. I say go for it. If you want to avenge your loss, yeah, definitely go for it. Definitely fight that kid again. And see what you can make of it. I mean, see if you can actually do a better job than you did before. But other than that, I don't really have much to say about that. I just want to see if he's going to get past Quinlan. I honestly believe that he should be focused on this guy and not looking past him. He's an unknown commodity, and he could go in the ring like Joe Smith and completely decapitate your ass and leave you stuck on stupid. Let's see. Let's moving on. Now, Kell Brook's trainer, explains why it will take "quote unquote" right fight for him to make 147. Is Errol Spence it? Quote, "It's just down to options. Kell Brook can do that. If he boxes at 147, he needs a good 12 to 14 weeks. It's difficult, but for the right fight, the motivating fight, he can do that." You guys have seen and heard enough people ripping Kell Brook about all of that. I think it's complete nonsense. When he's thinking about fighting Amir Khan or Manny Pacquiao, he can definitely make 147. But as soon as Errol Spence's name come up, all of a sudden, we gotta wait and see. Man, I'm not even gonna touch that. The more and more I hear Kell Brook trying to wriggle his way out of this fight, the more he looks like a pussy to me, to be honest with you. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. Because I don't really want to go too much into that, because this guy, to me, he's being a clown right now. He's acting like a chump right now, for real. Let's see. Okay, Adrian Broner reveals his biggest fear in boxing and his motivation to continue fighting. "I've been active. I'm almost 10 years in. Man, I'm a vet. And I'm one of the youngest ones out here. Another day at work. I love boxing so much." So that's part of the interview. Like I said, the link for Fight Hype will be in the description, so that you can go and check out all this stuff yourself. Look at these videos. You could probably go to fighthype.com or probably check them out on YouTube, more than likely. Let's see. Chris Eubanks Jr. lets hands fly and weigh in after trading words with Bernard Quinlan. Fight Hype was on hand in London, England, where super middleweights Chris Eubanks Jr. and Bernard Quinlan weighed in for the upcoming showdown. Yeah, so this fight, this fight is garnering a lot of hype. And I'm curious to see what's really going to happen in the fight, to be honest with you. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with these two guys, to see if these guys, can really, bring the heat, basically. I'm really curious as to see all of that. And I do want to see Quinlan in action. These guys are talking trash to each other at the weigh-in, in each other's faces. And Quinlan has the IBO championship, I believe, right? Because he's at the weigh-in and eyeballing each other, and he has a belt in his hand. I believe it's the IBO. I believe. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to see what's going to take place with that fight. Now, moving on. Let's see. Andre Ward getting mad love from UK fans. Signs phones, wallets, gloves, and more. Yeah, man. Andre. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a really big turnout too. I mean, it's a lot of people there. It's a lot of people there. Andre Ward. Just seeing Lennox Lewis. I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, he's getting a lot of love from the fans in the UK, man. They always show up, man. They turn out, man. They are some true boxing fans for real. Not just on some casual stuff. They actually love the sport. Let's see. Now Andre Ward's talking about his retirement. Andre Ward says retirement, still up in the air, explains why it has nothing to do with Kovalev. Quote, I don't know. They don't realize how long I've been doing this. 22 or 23 years. Whether I continue or not, that's up in the air. It has nothing to do with Kovalev. I chose him. He didn't choose me. I came to his weight class and knocked on his door. There's nothing scary about the guy, end quote. How can you dispute anything that the man just said? Again, he moved up in weight. He chose to fight Kovalev. In fact, the contract for the Kovalev fight was signed before him and Sullivan Barrera, I believe, even got in the ring. They had already determined that they were going to get their two tune-up fights. Andre Ward fought the God, I can't remember the guy's name, but he I think it was at a catchweight, I believe. He moved up from 168 and fought Andre Ward at light heavyweight. And then he fought Sullivan Barrera, dropped him in the second round. Yeah. So, I mean, he's not lying. He chose to move up. Some say that maybe HBO kind of forced his hand into moving up. I don't know, but what we do know about boxing is that the fighters have more control over who they fight than anybody else. Look at what Kell Brook's doing. Look at Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here, and I'll give you guys more updates in the next video. Sorry I'm making a video so long. I hope you guys are being able to keep up with me, and stay interested with all the latest information. I'm just trying to, cram a lot of stuff in at one time with the boxing updates. But yeah, like, learn, and subscribe. It's your boy Knowledge of Self-Determination. I'm out, and I'll be back with more boxing soon. Peace.